everyone. Thanks for joining in. My name is Rami. I'm the co-founder and co-CEO of Stake. Joining me today is Ammar, who's our Director of Client Relations. And basically, we're just going to touch on what Stake's all about, what we're doing, give you a quick intro about the latest updates on what we've launched, the product releases that we've done over the last 2 to 3 months, and then we can talk about any questions that you may have and answer as many as possible. Okay. I'll pass it on to Ammar right now just to give you a quick intro on why Stake exists.
Thank you, Rami. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for attending today. My name is Ammar. I'm the Director of Client Relations at Stake. As Rami mentioned, this webinar, we're going to talk about Stake, how it works, and we will walk you through the market update. On top of that, additionally, we will answer all your questions in both languages, English, Arabic, so feel free to ask anything in your convenient language. And in between, if you have any questions, just leave them in the Q&A box so we can answer them. Let's start with the real estate market. As we all know, real estate is one of the most popular asset class in the world. Apart from it's crucial for anyone to own a home, investing in this asset class has a lot of benefits, like it's hedge against inflation, it's tangible asset, it's giving consistent cash flow, potential for capital appreciation, and it's one of the most safest investment option. On the same note, the traditional way of investing in real estate comes with a lot of challenges, like it has a restricted access. Not everyone in the world can afford to make this kind of investments, as it requires substantial amount of capital to be tied up in a single property. Its inconvenience, the hassle of completing the registration process after purchasing the asset is time and effort consuming. And when it comes to concentration, even if you could afford to be part of these investments and buy a property, it's hard for more than 90% of investors to diversify, as you'll be in a position where you put all the eggs in one basket, as they say. There's no transparency, unfortunately. If you're considering investing in real estate, you need to rely on someone to conduct due diligence on your behalf, as a significant amount of information is often unavailable. When it comes to select the right property, doing the research yourself to find the suitable investments can be time consuming. When it comes to the alternatives, it's hard to find. However, when it comes to REITs, even if they do exist, it's very challenging to have an excellent investments, considering the risk factors in terms of trusting the company and choosing the right asset. At sometimes you have no visibilities over your investments and the market volatility, which directly impact your return. Also, on a quick note, some of the performance of these REITs will be tied to the performance of the stock market, which means it holds more risk. When we talk about liquidity, once you own a property, it will be a challenging mission for you to resell it, as you'll be in an open market and you need to rely on agents to take over the selling process. So the conclusion is that people don't have an easy, low-cost, or digital way to invest in real estate. Moving to the next slide, and why did we found Stake? Considering all the challenges associated with traditional real estate investing, they were one of the main reasons for us to build Stake. Obviously, to empower everyone to own and build wealth through real estate. When it comes to the process, anyone from anywhere around the world can come on the platform, create an account, verify it, and buy Stake in any of the hand-picked properties available on the platform, starting from 500 dirhams. In under 3 minutes, which is 10,000x faster than the traditional way of buying a property. Also, you can diversify your investments across multiple options instead of locking the entire money in one single asset. Furthermore, you will have a complete transparency regarding all the details related to any property in advance. This includes access to financial information, the due diligence process conducted by our team, the valuation reports, the investments memorandum documents, containing comprehensive information about area, property, occupancy rate, and more. Finally, when we talk about the liquidity, you can monetize the value of your portfolio and realize capital appreciation, as one of our main objectives is to source prime located properties and well priced, so we can aim to resell these properties with appreciation during the investments period. Or you can even liquidate through our exit windows that operates every May and November. So handing over this to Rami.
Thanks, Ammar. So since our launch in January 2021, we've become the leading real estate investment platform in the MENA region. And honestly, that's all thanks to you guys. We really are obsessed with, user customer satisfaction, user experience, our product. We really focus on ensuring that you guys have the best experience. And this is one of the main reasons why we're holding this webinar, is because we really want feedback. Every time someone invests, we send you guys an email so that you can give us feedback on how to improve the product. I can tell you that we have a huge team of product and tech that are dedicated to ensuring that user experience is second to none. And really, we lose sleep at night to ensure that you guys have the best real estate investment platform available to you. Since our launch in January 2021, we have over 650,000 registered users. The beauty of this is it's very multinational. So people from over 170 countries, from 190 nationalities have invested on the platform, which shows you kind of the reach that we have as a business. It shows you how appealing the Dubai real estate market is. And it just shows you kind of how much people want a piece of this amazing city. As I said, we're obsessed with customer satisfaction and user experience. And we have a great feedback score on Trustpilot, and our reviews have been great. Obviously, we can always improve, and we will always listen to our customers to ensure that we do that. Since our launch, we've transacted over 383 million dirhams in property transactions. That's over $110 million. And we've paid over 15.7 million dirhams in rental income. And we pay that on a monthly basis. 15.7 is just under $5 million of rental income that we've distributed straight into your stake wallets, which investors can withdraw back to their bank accounts anywhere in the world. Slide. To date, we've built an unbelievable portfolio of over 220 properties that are rented out both short-term and long-term. So this is just, in 3 years. As Ammar mentioned earlier, we really focus on locations that are prime. Dubai is starting to grow as a city, and there are many locations that you can invest in. As I'm sure you've seen, there's a lot of craze on off-plan developments going on. But we really focus on well-established communities where we know that long-term investors can make a steady income and a recurring income, in addition to a strong capital appreciation. We've really focused on a prime area such as downtown Dubai, DIFC, Dubai Marina, Palm Jumeirah. We look at stuff that's in waterfront. We look at upcoming areas as well. But I think we really pride ourselves in ensuring that all our property selection is the best in the market. It's second to none and is backed by data. We have a real estate operation team that is heavily experienced. We've built a data model with algorithms to ensure that all the data in the real estate market that's from the land department and latest transactions are analyzed. And once we really put a property on the platform, it's gone through a heavy and stringent selection process. As I said, we focused, and one of the things that I'd highlight is every single unit that we have, every single property that we have, we always want to operate units that we would want to live in ourselves, and we really stand by that. So if you've seen kind of the properties that have been listed on our platform, we don't go for any developer or any location. We really focus on the best, and every property goes through a check from our ops team to ensure that it's in good condition, or the tenant is a good tenant if it's rented out. And we really look at maximizing. So a lot of our properties have actually gone through upgrades. So, when we look at some of the older buildings, and I say this, when you look at downtown Dubai or the prime areas, there isn't any more land available to develop. So these older buildings tend to have bigger sized apartments, which compared to the new apartments that are being launched, were much smaller in size. These older apartments need to be upgraded, and there's huge value in doing that. So if you look at some of the changes we've done on properties, we've really upgraded them, got an interior design team to ensure that the property is looking great, to ensure that you're getting a higher rental income, both either short-term or long-term. So we get asked this all the time, and just for those of you that don't know, Dubai, Stake is based in Dubai. It's based in the DIFC, Dubai International Financial Center, and we're a regulated business. And when we say we're a regulated business, I want you guys to understand that you shouldn't take this lightly, in the sense of the regulator, which is the Dubai Financial Services Authority, the DFSA, has very stringent rules and regulations on us as a business to ensure that any person that invests on the platform has gone through KYC. And these processes are to protect you as investors and to protect us as a business, but also to comply with worldwide regulations. And I think it's something that really sets us apart from other fintech players around the world, because we really focus on ensuring that anyone who invests on the platform is able to and is legal to. So in order to start on Stake, you really need 2 documents. And It's as easy as a passport and a proof of address, which I'll get into shortly. But just to go back and tell you what the journey is, how do you start with Stake? You go onto the platform, download the app, or go onto the website, you create an account, you add your employment details, and then upload your documents. Now, the passport needs to be valid for at least 6 months. And we get asked a lot, why is it a passport? Why is it not a driver's license or an Emirates ID? And the reason why is because when you invest on Stake, we created an SPV, which is a special purpose vehicle in the Dubai International Financial Center, which is basically how you own the property. And then the title deed comes out in the name of this SPV, which is a company. In order for us to register you legally, and for any person in Dubai, when they're buying a property, they need to have a valid passport. So that's why, for you to protect your ownership, to ensure that you have ownership into the property, we need a valid passport, which is why we can't accept anything else. This is exactly what the authorities have asked for, and we have to comply with that. Now, what is a proof of address? Proof of address is something to prove that you live in that in a location, or that you have that address. It can't be older than 3 months. And we have some exceptions on some of those documents, which we can answer later in our Q&A. But it needs to have your full name, your address, and issuing authority, such as bank statement, utility bill, a title deed, anything that shows that you are linked to an address. And this, again, is based on our regulator, and we really need to comply with this. And I understand it might be annoying for some people, but really this is to protect you and to ensure that you have full ownership of the property and that you're getting your rental income on time and it's going straight to your wallet in a very safe way. Once you upload your documents, literally we've built the tech to enable to onboard anyone from anywhere in the world and to scale. So I'll give you an example. This month we've had over close to 50,000 people register on the platform, and we have the tech enabled to really clear your KYC within the maximum of 24 hours. And that's giving you like the worst case scenario. Once you clear KYC, you can browse the properties and you can invest using a debit card or a bank transfer. Now, if you qualify as a professional investor, which means your net worth is over $1 million, you can use a credit card. But we've really made investment on Stake as easy as it is as shopping on Amazon, or buying something on Deliveroo or Talabat. Literally, you upload you can do it through Apple Pay, debit card, or a direct bank transfer. And as soon as the money's credited to us, your wallet is there and you can start earning your monthly dividends. So in case you missed it, there is a lot of new features that we've rolled out over the last couple of months. And I really want to touch on these because I know there's some new users here that are fresh to Stake. And I want to, when I first started the webinar, I told you that we're really addicted to ensuring that our users have the best experience on the platform. So we've really taken a lot of feedback from our users and investors, and we really wanted to improve. And one of the major improvements that we've done is a 2-month rental guarantee. And what does that mean? So I think sometimes there's a disconnect. When we buy a property, there's a process. You have to, especially if it's not rented out, there isn't a tenant. You have to first of all, you have to issue these share certificates and get the title deed for the investors, ensure that everyone's cleared KYC. And then once that happens, if there's no tenant, then you need to find a tenant. And if you want to furnish it, then we furnish it and then find the tenant and then rent it out for you to start earning dividends. There's a process, whether you're doing it through Stake or you're doing it on your own. There's a process when you buy a property, and it's not something that happens overnight. So what we saw is between when the property is fully funded and when investors earn their first income, there's a bit of a lag. And we didn't want, investors didn't like that. People want to make money sooner, and we understand that. So what we did is we introduced a 2-month rental guarantee, which basically ensures that every investor receives their first rental payment no later than 60 days after the property is funded, regardless of any delays. So God forbid something happens, it took us longer to find a tenant or took us longer to furnish or whatever it is. As soon as the property is funded, you will get within 60 days, no later than 60 days, you will start getting your income. So to ensure that you start seeing that, you get that aha moment where that you see that the product actually works. We launched that, I believe, last month. We've already started paying out on any delays. So I hope that really gives the comfort to investors that, we're doing everything we can to speed it up in getting your rental income paid. But having said that, we guarantee it in case any delays happen. We've also did a full website refresh. We had a lot of comments saying, oh, listen, I want to learn more from your website. I want more information there. How can I learn more without having to speak to someone or send you a question? So what we've done is really increase the information and the data available on the platform so that you can kind of scroll through the website and see exactly what Stake's all about. Please, any questions you have on those or any feedback you have on our website, keep them coming, because we have as I said, we have a addicted design team that will really improve on that and make sure that they'll fix the queries that you have or action the feedback that you have. Another thing that we're really proud of is Stake Academy. So one of the things, people like, how now I can own real estate for 500 dirhams. This is a new concept. How can I do this? I never knew this existed. So what we wanted to do in really pushing out content and, to promote and ensure that really the transparency and level of education around what we do is out there. We wanted to create something called Stake Academy. And this is really just a start. We're going to be adding a lot of content. And what this does is if you go to the app and you go scroll to the Stake Academy side, you'll be able to see exactly videos on what Stake's about, how we select our properties, why we launched Stake. And you have the three co-founders, myself, Manar, and Ricardo, but we're going to start adding more people from the team. And this is just starting to grow. And we've seen that people who go to the Stake Academy and actually watch the videos, their questions are less and they start investing and they're very happy with the product. So this is something that we've really, team spent a lot of time on based on feedback, and we're only going to improve this. So I really hope you take the time to see what Stake Academy is all about. And it's really just to give you the transparency and give you a look into, how Stake operates and what it's all about. And finally, something we announced yesterday. So when we launched the business, Stake inherently is a Sharia compliant business because we have no debt. All the property is full equity. There's no banks involved, and we had a Sharia certificate from some of the leading scholars, from Guidance Financial, which is one of the largest companies for Sharia compliant businesses. They gave us a certificate, but in order to really start having the Sharia compliant certificate and telling everyone that we're Sharia compliant and label ourselves as a Sharia compliant business, we had to go through some of the processes with our regulator, which is the DFSA, the Dubai Financial Services Authority. We did that. We applied. We finally got approved. So now we've been approved to be operating an Islamic window. So now we're fully Sharia compliant. All our investments are Sharia compliant. So I know that appeals to some people on the platform, and we heard you, and this is why we wanted to share it with you that, and you can go to our website and see the certificate and go to the DFSA website and see that we're Sharia certified, Sharia compliant. So I hope that answers a lot of the feedback that we got from our investors. So that's a brief intro. We've gone over some of the points. This is your turn. We're going to answer as many questions as we possibly can. We actually have a lot. We'll go through them one by one. Also, one thing before that I didn't talk about, which is Saudi Arabia. I'm sure it's going to come up in the questions, but I just wanted to touch on that. We'll be doing some announcements very soon. We already have the team there, the office. We're looking to be live in early August. We're just finalizing a couple of things with our regulator there, with the CMA, before we go live. So please stay tuned for announcements. We will be going live in Saudi very soon. So let's start with some of the questions. Do you want to go ahead?
Sure. Yeah, thanks, Rami. I'm going to pick some questions. I'm going to answer on that. Some of the information, please, about the accepted payment channels in case I'm outside the UAE. Again, as Rami mentioned, anyone from anywhere around the world can come on the platform, create an account, verify through uploading the passport and proof of address. Then you have a wallet where you can fund this wallet using your debit card or bank transfer. Also, you can use Apple Pay, but the credit card, unfortunately, as a retail investor, you can't use it unless if someone can be classified as professional investor, and for that, you need to provide a net worth of $1 million. Then you can use your credit card as a payment method. One more question, some details about the company registration in the UAE. You can easily just Google Stake Properties DIFC, and then from a governmental website, you can look at the trading license, you can look at the registration number, where are we located, when the platform was founded. How do I evaluate the properties while choosing from the available listing? Very good question. So we always source the properties following one criteria, so the differences are very minimal. We always recommend anyone to diversify across different properties. However, if you want to evaluate and go further with the details, we always attached in the document section valuation reports from a third-party regulated company that shows the real value or the market value of this asset based on the transactions and listing in the market. So you can look at that, and then based on that, you can choose whatever property suits your investments goal. One more, which property we should invest to get better risk adjusted. Again, this is the same. Like we always aim to source the best properties in the market, considering the location, the reputation, the developer, occupancy rate, demand versus supply, everything in order to source the best properties in the market. And then you can definitely diversify or choose whatever property like suits your investment goal. Is Stake like mutual funds investing in real estate? No, actually, it's more as a tangible asset. You're physically owning a piece of a property through an SPV, where over here you will get legal documents to prove your ownership. You get monthly return. You have more access to a tangible asset, and in fact, you can even liquidate, like you're selling a property in an open market, like an exit window, which we have every May and November. I'll take one more question about the payment method. Again, we can accept money from anywhere around the world. The question was from Egypt. Like, yes, we can accept from Egypt. You just need to do a bank transfer, or you can use your debit card to pay. And are these properties only in Dubai or also in Abu Dhabi? Currently, all the properties that we acquire and source are in Dubai. However, we are exploring the option to expand our business and get properties in Abu Dhabi. We're already in a communication with ADGM to get the license from there. In fact, that's hopefully going to be within this year. And also, we're exploring an option to even have commercial properties once we launch our business in Saudi.
Just to touch on Abu Dhabi properties as well, for those of you that are aware, we closed our Series A funding round, which we announced in June. And one of our shareholders is Mubadala, which is the Abu Dhabi Sovereign Wealth Fund. So we're also speaking with the team there to see how we can onboard Abu Dhabi real estate. So it's definitely on our map. We want to have properties in Abu Dhabi. We understand that the opportunity and potential there. So please stay tuned. We're really working on that. Actually, we had a meeting yesterday and we're really pushing on that. What is GMV? GMV is just another way for gross merchandise value that we sold. And basically it's total sales. How many properties were transacted, total transactions on the platform. I would like to know the properties purchased are purchased under the company name. So we don't purchase properties. By regulation, we're not allowed to purchase the property and then sell it. It becomes a conflict of interest. So what happens is we identify properties in the market, or we work with some of the top brokers. And then when we agree on a property, we sign an MOU with the seller that we get exclusivity on this property for at least 60 days. And then we put it on the platform for it to be funded. And once it's funded, the ownership of the property is transferred to the SPV and to your names. How can I invest from outside the UAE? Yes, we've said this. You can invest from anywhere in the world. And will the passport and proof of address be sufficient wherever that person is living? Yes, 100%. As I said earlier, we have investors from over 170 nationalities, from over 190 countries. So definitely you can invest from anywhere. This is a great question. We get this a lot. What if I am living with my family? That's fine, as long as you get a letter from whoever is the lease under that says, this person lives with us. You send it to us, and yeah, you can invest even if you're living with your family. What type of accepted proof of residence? If I'm not a UAE resident, a utility bill, bank statement, title deed, those work. What if we do not have any bills or rented home to submit as document? Yeah, I said you can send us a bank statement with that shows your name. That is not, most importantly, is please that the proof of address cannot be older than 3 months. If KYC is not cleared in 24 hours, what is the best way to reach out to know the process? Okay, apologies for that. If that's the case, please drop us an email at contact@getstake.com or go to the live chat on our platform, whether it's the app or the website, and I promise you the team will immediately get back to you. How much time on average, I love this question, does it take to fully fund a property? So just to let you know, we are now one of the fastest buyers in the Dubai real estate market. And if you look at the market today, on average, it's anywhere between 45 days to 60 days, especially if there's a mortgage involved. We are now funding properties from the beginning of the year till today on an average of 11 days. So we're actually the fastest real estate investment platform in terms of fully funding properties in the region. So average is 11 days. Obviously, there's plus and minus, but that's the average on the properties to date. I'll go through this and then I can pass it to you. Hello, I have some questions. How do you put the deadline of a property sale? What if the deadline came and 50% of the property was sold? So as I said, we've sold since our launch over 220 properties. We've never had a property that exceeded the deadline. And you know, we as I said, we fund stuff in 11 days. But God forbid something happens and we don't fund within the deadline, then the money that the investors have funded will go back to their wallets, and the property is then given back to the seller, and we lose exclusivity on it. So none of the investors lose any money. The money stays in the wallet, and you're free to invest in another property. If I want to exit a property I bought, will I be able to put a sale price myself? So great question. We have 2 exit windows that we have launched a year. What exit windows are for people to sell their stakes whenever they want to exit. The only thing is you have to wait 1 year and then you can sell your stakes on the exit window. Now, what we do is every 6 months, we do an updated valuation report. What that means by a third party, your stakes are valued by a third party based on the market. So you're able to see what your stake is worth based on the latest market price. When the exit window opens, you can sell at the latest valuation or sell at a 20, 15, 10, or 5% discount. So it depends on how much people want to get out. They can, you know, increase the discount, and we give you the latest valuation, and we don't allow people to sell above that valuation because we don't want people to be we don't want people to oversell based on the market. So we want to be fair to everyone. And I'll tell you, you know, today, if you own your own property and you listed it on a platform like Property Finder, you most likely will have to give some sort of discount to you. You're not going to sell it for this price. And that's why we enable people to sell it at some of the discounts. Yeah, I'm already.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Rami. What is the timeline for a property to be fully funded? As Rami mentioned, this year we're averaging around 10 to 11 days until we complete raising funds for any property, from the day that we list until the day that we raised and gathered the entire funds for this property. Do I need to select property I want to invest in, or do we have a managed portfolio option? Yes, recently, this is a good question, because recently we have released a feature where it helped new investors, you know, to diversify their portfolio through managing portfolio option, where you can diversify in multiple apartments or multiple properties that suits your investment goal. You can find that in your portfolio if you haven't invested. To verify my residential address as a Kenyan resident, what are the documents required? Following to what Rami have mentioned, you can either upload a tenancy contract, mobile bill, utility bill, or any document under your name that has your residential address recently issued under your name, and we can accept that as proof of address, and your account will be approved. If we make an investment and the property is 100% funded, how soon should we expect the rental income? From the moment that we complete the registration, that we complete the raising funds, we're going to carry on the registration process, which is typically takes around 4 to 6 weeks. Then post that, you will start receiving rental income end of every month. Typically, we pay last Thursday of every month, the rental income. So realistically speaking, within 2 months maximum, you should see the first rental income credited to your wallet, where from there you can withdraw it to your bank account with no fees. You can reinvest it or you can keep it there. Can be an option to add next to of kin. Yes, we have an option to nominate a beneficiary, God forbid, if something happen. You can reach out to us through our email, contact@getstake.com. You can provide the beneficiary details and we will take care of the process. Can stake users rent a property as well? This platform offers you a purely investments real estate assets, where the main goal from this platform is to generate income through real estate, through the holiday home properties that we have. Definitely, if there is a room, you know, for anyone to stay there, you can, based on the rate that we rent the property out, you can explore the option to rent the property. Otherwise, you can definitely generate income from these investments. Yes, regarding Saudi, if you should create a separate account, yes, on the same app, you can create a separate account for Saudi because it has to be a different KYC process. But on the same app, you will be able to explore investing in Saudi and in UAE properties. This is a good question. How is the monthly payment shared across different investors? So depend on the percentage that you own in each property, you will get paid accordingly. So assuming the property is 1 million dirhams and you own 10% of the properties, so that means you generate or you take 10% of the total revenue generated on that property. So if the property is rented for 100,000 dirham and you own 10%, you get 10% of the 100,000 dirham. Same thing goes for the appreciation at the time of selling the apartment. We always aim to resell these properties with a higher price during the investment terms. And for that, we will perform vote among investors and then we can act accordingly. Why don't we consider the option of short-term rent to increase the yield? We do. In fact, last week we listed a property that got sold or funded, sorry, in 3 hours. It was a holiday home property in Pawn. We always aim to source properties, and we are so conservative when it comes to the projections that we expect to generate as an income from these properties. So we are definitely exploring sourcing more properties as a holiday home. Just keep an eye. Make sure to enable the notifications from the settings on the app to be updated with each property that we list. Does the return on investments come on monthly or yearly basis? We distribute the income from the rent every month. At the end of every month, the funds will be credited to your wallet. What are the fees charges that would investors be charged during the investments? When you click on any property, we kept an option to check the financial details of each property and what are the transactions associated in these investments. You can also download the investments memorandum PDF file. In the slide number 6, you can look at the breakdown of all the cost and the breakdown of these transactions, so you can understand what are the standard and non-standard fees and costs associated with your investments. When it comes of how long do you have to invest for? Can I cash out anytime? At least you need to stay in this investments for a minimum of 1 year. Then you can use the exit window to resell your share and then liquidate. Can you please explain about the liquidation process? Once you complete 1 year in the investments, you can use the exit windows that operates every May and November. Each period, it's going to be live for 2 weeks. From there, you can list your shares. As Rami mentioned, you can determine the price following the latest valuation or the refreshed valuation that we publish on each property. From there, you can get to know what would be the property evaluated. Based on that, you can determine the price. You can even offer a further discount if you want to liquidate faster. And first come, first serve. That's the logic of the exit window. If we invest through stake, will I be getting a benefit in getting a long-term visa? Actually, we have done a collaboration with the IFC and Dubai government where we offer the golden visa for whoever invested 2 million dirhams, which is aligning with the market trend. When currently in the traditional way, if you invest 2 million dirhams in properties, you will be eligible for the golden visa. So we offer the same thing, but over here you can also diversify. You can build your portfolio gradually. Whenever you complete 2 million dirhams in portfolio, you'll be eligible to get the golden visa and enjoy all the benefits associated with it. Also, we have the retirement visa. If you are above 55, you can get a retirement visa if you invest 1 million dirhams, and that would be for 5 years. I'm going to hand over this to Rami.
Second, yeah. Did you answer the one on the tax on rent income? You didn't answer that one.
No.
Okay, so are there any taxes on rental income? So we don't have any taxes on rental income. It's tax free. So all the income that you earn, obviously there's property charges, which are service charges that you need to pay for the upkeep of the building that the building or management takes. But in terms of tax on rental income, there isn't. We've answered this one. Average days a property takes 11 days. If a property depreciates in value, how is the loss distributed? It's distributed across everyone. So, if you own 10%, then you're taking 10% of the loss. And then what triggers a vote in case of property depreciation or appreciation? So in terms of selling, we really advise our investors that it's a 5-year investment period. But after 1 year, investors can decide to sell their stakes. through our exit window. Now, we've already exited some properties, and purely because of the price went up compared to the market, and we had some investors say, listen, we'd like to explore a sale. So we went out to the market, got offers, and then the investors voted on the offer, and it's majority. It's a very simple process. And then we exited those properties, and people have made over 45% returns on some of our exits so far. If I invest over 100K, is my capital guaranteed? So at the end of the day, this is real estate, and like in any market, there's risk. So nothing is guaranteed. However, what we do is real estate versus other asset classes gives you the protection in the sense of the property exists and either it's tenanted or not, but it's not an off-plan property. So in the sense of what you see on the platform, you can see the 3D tours, and at the end of the day, you are able to see the property and see the income that's coming in. And if you want to exit, as we said, you can exit through the exit windows on the platform. Does Stake have exposure in all the assets? So we don't have exposure, as we said earlier. We are not allowed to have ownership in the properties that we have on the platform. But I just want to highlight one thing. It's in our best interest as an investment platform to ensure that all the properties are performing really well, and in order for our investors to have a great experience. And the reason why I say this is because if we don't care about the properties that come onto the platform, investors won't be happy and they won't come again. I can really confidently and happily say that over 65% of our investors, there's a 65% repeat rate on the platform. What is the expected percentage of earnings? So our portfolio is rental income is anywhere between 5.5 to 5.7% across the entire portfolio. Just last year, investors made under 11% per annum return. In case property gets sold, everything is super transparent. You're able to see what the property was sold for. You get the income. You're able to see the transaction on the Dubai Land Department. We can show you the transaction data. All of that is fully visible. If this is a good question, if Stake goes bankrupt, money is stored in SVP. How safe are those? It's an SPV. How safe is that? So that money and all the properties have nothing to do with Stake, and that's a protection. So if, God forbid, anything happens to us as a business, you're fully protected. Your properties are fully protected. The money doesn't even come into our corporate account. It's in a separate bank account. So as a protection for investors, it really doesn't get better than this. All the properties are in your name. You're able to see your ownership through the share certificates on the DIFC website. You're able to see the title deed. We don't want anything in the property. So another thing, how do we see the market right now? We are, at the end of the day, the market is on a high. It's beating 2014 highs, and we get asked the question, why don't you go to other areas where potentially you can get higher yields? And I'll say something. So for those of you that don't know, a bit of a background by myself, I've been in Dubai now for over 19 years. All I've done for 19 years is real estate, so I really know the market very well. When you're in real estate in Dubai, it's a 7-day-a-week, 24-hour job. And the reason why we don't kind of take risks with properties and go to areas where potentially they could be higher yields is purely because of the fact that I saw what happens when markets start calming down or cooling off. If you buy a property in a prime area like downtown Dubai or DIFC, if the market cools off, you're still able to make good returns and your vacancy risk is very low. What I mean by vacancy risk is your occupancy rate is high and you're able to rent those properties. Now, when you go to peripheral areas, that risk is much higher. So, for us and why we choose properties in those areas is because, one, there's limited supply. If you look at downtown, DIFC, Dubai Marina, Palm Jumeirah, there isn't many plots left. Actually, in Palm Jumeirah, there aren't any plots left for high-rise residential apartments. And in DIFC, for those of you that don't know, literally all the plots have been sold, and there's a shortage of residential apartments available. So when we look at those properties, we focus on consistent income and potential for high capital appreciation. So yes, potentially areas where there's higher risk, but maybe higher return, we prefer to our investors to be, have access to prime areas that really deliver solid returns over a long term. Can someone buy a full property through Stake? We can help you with that. And soon enough, there will be something for you that we'll announce. Why is my proof of residence as my bank statement rejected? Most likely, it either wasn't in your name or it was older than 3 months. It's those are the reasons. Um, how is so stake fees are 1.5% acquisition, 2.5% exit. Is this correct? Yes, that is correct. Those are our fees. Is there incentive fee based on hurdle rate? So we have an egg when we, and this is to incentivize us and align us with investors. Whenever the property is sold, there is an incentive fee of 7% of the appreciated value. So, for example, you buy a property for 1 million dirhams. The property is sold at 1.5 million dirhams. So that 500,000 dirham increase, there's a 7% success fee from that. How many person can apply for the property to invest? There is no limit. Literally, we've had properties with close to 1,000 investors. So literally, there's no limit. Do we deal with properties that are being built? Unfortunately, we don't. We only focus on ready properties. And the reason why is our regulator doesn't allow us to do off-plan. And we have a strong conviction that in the market, there's a huge opportunity to buy stuff that is ready, purely because of the fact that you can start earning income immediately. And rather than waiting for 4 years for a development to finish, to start seeing any income. I'll pass it on to you, Ahmad.
Thanks, Rami. What would be my estimated income per month once I invest 500 dirhams? That's a great question because that's depend on the property itself, because each property provide different income percentage. But to make it simple for everyone, you can click on any property, add any amount to your cart, and then from the cart page, you can get to know how much exactly on monthly basis you're gonna make from the rent, and what would be the expected capital appreciation as well over 5 years. How often are you selling the properties? A good question. We always aim to resell these properties that we fund between 2 to 5 years. Whenever we find a good opportunity to do that, we're going to perform an early vote among investors, and then we can exit and liquidate. You can look at the exited properties that we've done. We always target massive capital appreciation so you can get a good gain out of that.
Just press answer that.
Do you guys buy properties cheaper than the market? 100%. We always aim, it's a win-win case. We always aim to purchase properties below market price or to source properties below market price where we can realize the gain from the appreciation at the time of selling these properties. And if you want to know more details about that, you can look at the valuation report in each property to prove the price that we have acquired the property or we sourced the property for is aligned with the market. I'm living with my family. What would be the documents that I need to provide? You just need to provide a proof of address. If you don't have anything under your name, you can upload something, let's say, for example, under your father's name. You just need to upload his passport copy and like an NOC letter to confirm that you live in the same building. It has to be just signed and recently dated by your father as well. How do I know how much percentage I invest in each property? So we break down the investments into shares. Let's say the property value is 1 million dirham. That means like there is 1 million shares, which is equivalent 1 dirham to share. And then from there, you can get to know how much or how many shares you want to purchase in that property and what would be the value for that. So if you invest 10,000 dirham in a property of 1 million, you have 10,000 shares in that property. And the rental income, you can indicate the rental income from the net yield percentage that we put in each property, or you can refer to the accurate amount from the cart when you add any amount. Are you taking any step to increase the investments limit from the current amount? Yes, 100%. There's a back and forth discussion with our regulator, the FSA, and there's some promising reply from them to increase the limit from $50,000 to $100,000. We're still exploring that option. Once it's confirmed, definitely we're going to roll out that, and that would reflect in your portfolio. What is the current return on investments I can earn? So there's two aspects of income from these investments. You can get rental income that will be distributed to you on a monthly basis. And you can get capital appreciation at the end of the investments at the time of selling the property. Do you have annual investments meetings? Yes, whenever we organize any event, we definitely communicate with our investors or any client where you can just join us. Alternatively, we always aim to do every month one webinar where you can join. We can keep everyone posted about the new things that we're having or the features that we are releasing. How are we claiming that we're buying properties at the market price? You can look at the valuation report to know more about the market price of each property and what are the listings in the market. In fact, it's very transparent. You can now log into any platform that sell properties and you can just compare the prices and you can see that we always aim to source the best properties. But you need to always consider, the type of properties that we choose. We never compromise on the quality. We always try to source the best properties in the market in terms of the layout, in terms of the view, in terms of the floor. That all makes a huge difference in terms of the value of each property. So you need to consider everything when you do a proper comparison. Are the properties sold or rented, and who decides that? So basically, we always aim to get ready and rented out properties, and we list them on the platform where you can just buy a piece of these properties. You can get rental income every month. And when it comes to selling this property, we can't take any decision. Any material change, it's mentioned in the terms and conditions, any material changes on these assets, we have to perform vote among investors. So you can decide and we can act. So even if we want to change the tenant or if we want to change the management company, we're going to perform both and notify all the investors. What does the projected net yield means? So now you have a property of 1 million dirham and it's rented out for 70,000 dirham per year. For example, the 70,000 dirham, it's 7% as a gross rental income. That's the total amount, but you need to pay some fixed amounts like service charge, maintenance fees, management costs, etc. That's going to give you around 55,000 dirham as annual net rental income. That's the net income that you're going to get every year from the rent. That represent the percentage 5.5, the net revenue that you can expect from the rent. But the distribution of the dividends will be on monthly basis. Can we use PayPal? Unfortunately, no. You can fund your wallet using debit card or bank transfer. And if you're a professional investor, you can use a credit card. How much amount do we need to fund to fully fund the property and to have the ownership? Again, this year, like we're averaging around 10 to 12 days from the day that we list the property until we complete raising funds. And then we work on issuing the legal documents as soon as it's possible. And that this process takes around 4 weeks. Good evening. Are we planning to open regional offices? Well, the best thing about this platform is like digitally from the comfort of your home, you can do everything from opening the account to verify, to choose the properties and invest. And all the legal documents will be available in your portfolio where you can verify, validate everything online as well. But if you need to meet us, we're here. We have an office in the IFC. We are regulated by Dubai Financial Services Authority. You're more welcome to come to our office. How to do research on choosing properties to invest in. Again, we always recommend you to diversify your investments across multiple properties where you can get exposure to different prime locations. You can always do your own due diligence referring to the documents that we attach in each property or the financial projections that we always put in each asset. Okay, this is a good question. Why do we require the employer's name during the registration process? We are a regulated platform, and in fact, this information are required by DFSA. But I will explain why do we ask. Because if you're a politically exposed person, we need to do a process called enhanced due diligence to clear your account first before you invest. However, sometimes during the KYC, we get false PEP matches. And in order to clear that, we always refer to the employer's name just to confirm that you're not the same person, apart from the own due diligence that we do in the backend. And then from there, we can clear your account to accelerate the process. Can I get help on how to diversify my investments across multiple apartments? You can realize that all the properties that we source and acquire are the same following one criteria. Differences are very minimal. You can get exposure to different locations. Location-wise, you can choose the properties or whatever properties that you would prefer to allocate funds. After the investments, is the rental income monthly? Yes, it will be distributed on monthly basis. And for the rental protection, yes, it's no longer than 60 days, means like from the day that we fund the property, within 60 days, even God forbid, if we couldn't find the tenant within that time, we will still get paid every month. This is a rental protection that we've released recently. I answered on this question. If I own 10% of the property and want to sell, how it works. If you complete 1 year in the investments, you can use the exit window that operates every May and November, and from there you can liquidate. And the beauty of that is that if you even diversified your investments across multiple properties, you can liquidate from one property or you can liquidate from all the properties. Also, you can sell partially or you can sell fully. It's purely your decision. If I invest through Stake, will I get the facility to open a bank account in Dubai? If your investments qualifies you for the golden visa, then yes, 100%. You can sponsor your family, you can open a bank account, and you can enjoy all the benefits that anyone who's residing in the UAE can get. But if you just invested with us on the platform and you didn't meet the criteria to get the golden visa, then we cannot assure you that you can open a bank account in the UAE. I answer on this question related to PayPal. No, you cannot pay using PayPal. Also the limit, yes, we are trying to increase the limit. The proof of address document has to be under your name. Otherwise, if you're going to upload a document under your father's name, we need his passport and NOC letter. You can just reach out to us to contact@getstake.com, and we're going to give you a call and guide you through the process so we can accelerate the approval process of your account.
I'm going to jump in.
Yes.
I don't know if you answered this one, but do I have to invest as a private individual, or can I buy through a company that I own? So if you go to the app, you can invest as a mute. You can invest through a company that you own. You go to the app, you go under your account, under the profile, you click on your name, and if you see there's something called individual account, you can switch that to business, and it automatically gets you in touch with us, and we can switch your account to corporate. You can invest through a company. What's in it for an investor? So the beauty of it is you can earn income from investing in real estate. So you get access to real estate from a low amount. You can diversify across different properties and prime locations in Dubai, and you get the exposed to capital appreciation. So our portfolio is paying out just over 11% per year. That's between capital appreciation and rental returns. We pay the rental returns on a monthly basis straight into your wallet. So what's in it for investors? Two types of income: capital appreciation and the monthly rental income that we distribute on a monthly basis. What about the maintenance fees? So if you owned your own property or you owned it through Stake, there are maintenance fees that you need to pay. Those are very transparent, and they're deducted from the rental income. So standard, we pay those to the building management, and they have to be paid for the upkeep of the building and the apartment. Do you invest in off-plan projects? Unfortunately, we do not, purely because of the fact that the regulator doesn't allow. And as I said earlier, we prefer ready residential real estate because of the fact that you can make rental income. What happens if someone with a majority shareholder decides to exit an investment for personal reasons? So we don't allow investors to own more than 33% of a property. And we do that specifically for that reason, so that no one can control the fate of the property. It needs to be through a voting mechanism that allows the majority to decide what happens with that property. How do we decide when to sell a property? So we advise our investors that it's a 5-year hold period. As I said earlier, you are free to sell your stakes after 1 year on our exit windows, but through consistent property valuation reports, investors in the platform can vote to sell a property, and we will go out to the market and present offers to you, and then you decide on that through a vote. Do we accept cash payments? No, we do not. As part of the regulation under the DFSA, we are not allowed to accept cash payments. We only accept payments through a debit card, bank transfer, or if you're a professional investor, through credit card. What are the risks available? So if you own the property by yourself or owned it through stake, it's the same risks, which are the property can be vacant for a while we find a tenant, or the market might soften. So just like that, there's two risks, basically vacancy and price appreciation risk. Uh, so the various returns on our properties, yeah, why is there, some properties are giving higher returns than the rest? It all depends on the location and the price. All the returns vary based on location and the properties that we have. So yes, you'll see that some of the returns on the properties available are different, and that's why we advise for people to diversify. That's the beauty of the stake platform that allows you to invest into different properties without committing all your capital into one. So could you please respond why people would buy the stakes that I'm exiting? Why not buy a new property from the platform directly? So first of all, in order to participate in the exit market and in the exit window, you need to be an investor on the platform. So you need to own with us in the primary. Now, why would people do that? Because some people want to invest in properties that already have a history of paying, and also some people would buy stakes that are being sold at a discount. So people want to buy into properties that were funded before. So for example, we have some properties that were in DIFC where people didn't have a chance to invest in them and they want to get into those properties. So they'll buy them off the exit windows where they potentially would not find those on the primary market. And how will you ensure that someone will buy those stakes? I mean, there isn't a guarantee that someone will buy those stakes. Just like if you own the property, what's the guarantee that someone will buy it off you? There's no guarantee. But if you really want to get out and the price is right, people will buy your stake, your shares. If I provide IBAN, SWIFT details for my current account in Saudi, how will you debit my account? You would need to do the transfer. We don't do direct debit. So you would need to either pay by debit card or do the bank transfer by yourself. And when you do that, we get your bank account details so that we're able to transfer any of the income that you want to withdraw back to your wallet. If the amount to invest is 2 million dirhams, you advise to invest 2 or more properties. We love to diversify. We believe in investing into more properties rather than 1 or 2. And the reason why is because you really spread your risk. So we really champion diversification. Sorry. What is the lowest amount someone can start with? It is 500 dirhams, starting from 500 dirhams, which is $130. Yes, you still get rent from all the properties that you buy in the exit windows. So anything that you buy in the exit windows, you will get the rental from that. So it's just like owning a property primary. Regarding the Sharia compliance setting that was introduced, what does it change in the app? It basically changes nothing. Now, if in the future we were going to introduce non-Sharia properties, then by selecting that setting on the app will enable you to see those or not see those. But as we said, from when we launched the business till today, we've been Sharia compliant. So it's nothing new in the sense of a property, but why we announced it now is because we got the regulator finally approved our business and allowed us to operate an Islamic window. So now we're able to actively go out to the market and say, hey, we are Sharia compliant. Can you tell us more about the golden visa? Of course. So the way it works is if you buy a property in Dubai for 2 million dirhams, you're eligible for a golden visa. Now, it took us close to over a year to really convince the authorities here to allow our investors to be eligible for that. And literally just less than a year ago, we got the approval. So if you invest 2 million dirhams on the stake platform, you are eligible for a golden visa. And why we think this is a much better proposition than what exists in the market is purely because you are able to diversify. So instead of putting 2 million dirhams into one property, you could put it across 10 or 20 properties. You do it digitally, you do it from an app, hassle-free. We do all the property management for you. So it really is a much better proposition. And as soon as the 2 million dirhams are invested and the properties are fully funded, we handhold you through the entire process and we issue you a golden visa from the DIFC. It's a very seamless process. We've issued over 20 now, and investors are very happy. They've sponsored their families and have opened bank accounts. So it's really is such a seamless process. Please reach out to us if you have more questions about the golden visa. It's really something that we're proud of offering in Dubai. Taxes, there are no taxes in the selling. If you want to sell your stakes or sell the app, there's so I sell your stakes, or when the property is fully exited, there are no taxes in Dubai. How does Stake make money? What's the catch for us? So our fees are very transparent on the platform. We charge investors 1.5% upfront, and then we take a 0.5% management fee every year to really ensure the property is well taken care of. And then when stakes are sold or when the property is sold, there's a 2.5% fee. And then there's one fee that we have, which has aligned us with our investors, which is a performance fee. If the property makes money, we take a fee. If the property doesn't make money, then we don't take a fee. It's a very transparent process, fee that we have. It's really to align us with our investors to ensure that when there's any appreciation, we make a fee from that. So how you claim, I think you answered this already, that we're buying market price. We have the valuation reports on every single property, and you're able to see the latest transactions. So yeah, we really buy properties that, and you can see the valuation by a third party. We tend to buy stuff that is either at market or below market. That's our goal. What type of insurances are made to the purchase properties? We have full property insurance on all the properties. This is a must. So the property is fully insured. In case anything happens, the property is insured for any hazard that may arise. Can we hold our investment more than 5 years before exiting? Yes, if the property is voted on to continue for ownership, then yes, the property can be extended for longer than 5 years. So this is a great question. Recently, Dubai experienced flooding. What risk mitigation strategy is available to ensure that our investment is protected? So as I just mentioned, there's insurance available. So God forbid anything happens, we're fully insured. But over and above that, that goes back to the questions that we get. Why do you only go for these properties that are in prime areas where potentially the yields are not as high as other areas? And the reason why is purely because of the fact that we are very selective in the developers that we work with. There are certain developers who have built properties that could not withstand the flooding, and their properties got damaged, while other developers, which are the ones we really focus on, have built properties that have amazing quality that withstood the flooding. So to answer your question, we really focus on properties that have a great track record with great developer and great quality. Can you add an estimation in the card for exit options for 1 year, 2 years? That's a great idea. I mean, it's projections. You can see our projections under every property, but I could speak to the product team and see if that's something that they can take on. But great feedback. Yeah, we're almost running out of time. We'll give it another 5 minutes, and then we'll please all these questions. If you can send them to contact@getstake.com, I guarantee you they will be answered. If you go to our app and go to our live chat, they will be answered. I forget. Do I get my returns on a monthly basis or yearly basis? You get them on a monthly basis, distributed every month. If you want to jump in.
Yeah, I can take a few questions before we wrap up. While investing, we can see if the property is rented or not. Yes, 100%. You can see there's a label on each property card to state that if the property is rented or not. And further, when you click on any property from the description of that property itself, you can check all the financial details and everything related to that particular asset. I am a student. Can I invest? If you are above 18 years old, then yes, 100% you can invest. There is one good question on, or several questions about 500 dirhams. The minimum investments amount, yes, it's 500 dirhams. However, this is a starting amount. You can definitely increase your investments gradually. If you put a proper plan to invest and spread your investments across different properties, or a monthly plan that you can contribute in different assets, that's gonna give you the power of the compound interest, where at the end of the year, you will find that you have a very decent portfolio that gives you a decent rental income on a monthly basis. Despite that, every month when we credit to your wallet the rental income, you can also reinvest that amount so you can have a bigger portfolio. And when it comes on the other question, the second part of the question on why do I need to consider investing 500 dirhams, you can definitely invest whatever amounts that you can feel comfortable to. However, with the current inflation, the value of money, let's say you have 1 dirham now, next year, same time, the value of this 1 dirham will be 1 minus 6% due to the inflation. So currently, it's super crucial for anyone to consider investing their funds somewhere. And real estate is one of the safest options. And through our platform, we provide that facility where you can invest for as low as 500 dirhams in ready rented out properties, and you're not even compromising on the quality of these assets. On top of that, you're making monthly income from the rent, apart from the potential appreciation at the time of selling these properties. So 100%, 500 dirham, it's the best time for you to start investing in real estate. You can definitely increase your investments gradually as well with different properties. What would be the threshold for the capital appreciation to initial or to trigger a sale of a property? We don't only target capital appreciation. It's a terminology called ROI, return on investments. That includes the rental income plus the capital appreciation that we've realized so far on that property. Whenever we cross 50% in ROI on any property, this is a trigger for us to perform an early vote among investors, and then based on that, you decide, we act. However, in previous cases, we were very flexible. We found a good opportunity to flip properties where we performed vote, and then we managed to sell these properties. And we have more properties in the pipeline to liquidate and exit. Is it mandatory to sell the properties after 5 years? Again, we're going to perform a vote. If the majority decides to carry on the investments, we can carry on the investments, and then after 1 year, we do another vote, and like so on. We didn't see any question in Arabic. If I invest 2,000 dirham, how much do I get every month from the rent? That depends on the asset. You can just click on any property, add any amount to your card, or add 2,000 dirham to your card. The card page will open and it will show you how much monthly income you're gonna make from the rent, and what would be the potential capital appreciation during 5 years on a conservative basis. What is the process of acquiring property? So whenever we find a decent property, we sign an MOU with the seller that we're going to take their properties from 30 to 60 days exclusively to stake. We list this property on the platform, and then we start raising funds. The moment we raise the funds, we will carry on the registration, and the ownership will be moved from that particular seller and under all the people who participated in buying that property through an SPV, where you get legal documents, which is like a title deed issued by the Dubai Land Department, and share certificate under your name to prove the ownership. You can definitely verify and validate these legal documents online from governmental websites. Yes, are all properties which are listed are bought by investors only? Yes, 100%. We as platform, as stake platform, we cannot own anything in these properties to protect investors and to avoid conflict of interest. So we are not allowed to own anything in these properties. 100% all the properties will be acquired by investors. This question in Arabic, I'm going to answer it in Arabic. دخل إيجار شهري بالحساب وبعد الرسوم الإدارية صحيح. بعد قطع كل الرسوم سيتم إيداع المبلغ من دون أي عمولات. ممكن معلومات عن المصاريف والعمولات كاملة باللغة العربية من وقت الشراء حتى وقت الخروج. هذا بيختلف من عقار لعقار. بإمكانك الدخول على أي عقار والاطلاع على جميع الملفات اللي بتكون موجودة داخل العقار مثل الانفستمنتس ميمو. بالسلايد رقم 6 بإمكانك تشوف كل التفاصيل المالية، المصاريف والمعاملات والعمولات عفوا اللي بيتم اقتطاعها من وقت شراء هذا العقار، حتى نفس الكلام من الدخل. والتوزيعات بتكون بشكل شهري، حتى لما بتضيف اي مبلغ لعرض التسوق صفحه العرض بتعطيك العائد الصافي بعد اقتطاع كل الرسوم. How to get the slides? If we're talking about the investments memorandum and the projection sheets and the valuations, you can click on any property, scroll to the document section, and then from there you can find all the documents. Can we have the record? Yes, this will be on YouTube. I think we've covered almost everything. I'm just going to hand over this to Rami.
Yep. There is just a couple more questions, which please, if we didn't get to them, if you can go and send them to contact@getstake.com, or go to our live chat. We'll get them answered for you. There's just one thing that I'll answer. Are there perks being in each tier? Yes. If you go to our platform, you'll be able to see what are the perks for intro, plus, and elite tiers. We've clearly identified those, so you'll be able to see those. There's no guarantee that we'll receive monthly income. I mean, at the end of the day, we go for properties that are either rented, and when they're rented, there is a guarantee that you're going to get rental income. And if they're ones that are vacant, we will rent those out. So just like buying a property on your own, or whether you're buying it through stake, there's always vacancy risk, but our mission is to ensure that they're fully rented and you're earning income. Last question is, someone has said, there's some nationalities that haven't been approved, and unfortunately that's out of our hands. It's due to regulation. There's some certain nationalities that are considered high risk that we are not able to onboard. It really isn't because of us. I really want to highlight that as a platform. We'd love to onboard every single nationality, but there are certain restrictions that we cannot change. I promise you, it's part of what I do at least once a week, where I'm trying to speak to the authorities to get an update on which nationalities we can start accepting. So please stay tuned to that. But really, I just want to highlight that this isn't something that we control. It's out of our hands. If you'd love to work with us, please send your CVs. We're hiring and we're growing as a team. So if you're looking to work with us, send your CV at contact@getstake.com, and we'd love to have you on board. Last question, and then we'll shut it down. The property was not funded from investors within 60 days. Who will have the rest of the shares? If the property is not funded within 60 days, the money is refunded back straight into your wallets, and then you can invest in other properties. So no one will have those shares, that property, because as a seller, they want the 100% of the money. So if we can't get the seller the 100% of the money, that money is refunded back to our investors on their wallet, and the seller takes the property, and we lose exclusivity on it. Thank you so much for your time today. It really was great. I promise you we will be doing, the team will probably kill me for this, but I promise you we will be doing a monthly webinar, at least once a month. You will have a webinar from Stake, whereby we will answer your questions, present new products. But as I said, we are committed to feedback from you. So anything that you guys have, any suggestions, whether it's positive, negative, anything that you have, please send us those questions, feedback, whatever it is, because really we are committed and addicted to ensuring that you guys have the best experience on Stake. Thanks a lot, everyone, for your time. I know it's late for some people. We really appreciate it. Thank you again for your support and everything that you guys do for Stake, and how much you've believed and trusted in us. Our commitment is to ensuring that you have a better experience all the time. Have a great evening. Thank you, everyone. And again, please, if we couldn't answer all the questions, send them to us, and I promise you we will get them answered. Thanks a lot, everyone, and have a great evening.